Well, our yeasts have not let us down. They have fermented the beer, and we are getting ready to bottle it. This is our first beer, and I know we're all excited. Have you enjoyed saving up those 54 bottles, which is what we're going to need for our 5-gallon batch? Our stop has told us there's no more activity going on with the yeast, and it's been about a week. That's all it's going to take. We have a few things lined out that we're going to need, and those things came in your initial kit. You're going to have your bottle filler, your capper, and all your caps. You need all your bottles. Plus, we have to add carbonation to our bottles. And the way that's done is in our kit comes this little packet of sugar. This needs to be dissolved, and it is what is actually going to happen in the bottles, a little extra fermentation to create the carbon dioxide. We have about a cup of water here that I have dissolved that sugar in, and I want to bring it to a good hard boil for about 10 minutes. Remember, we're sanitizing everything, and that includes killing the microorganisms that are in our water. I don't think I can stress sanitation well enough. It is something that has to become a habit with you, and well, let me just say this. The first time you have any beer that you've created and it goes bad, you'll realize what a waste of time and energy could have been saved if you had just sanitized. So here we are. This is going to be our bottling bucket. And basically for me, a bottling bucket is just like a fermenting bucket. It has the same openings and the same valve, but we've got it full of water with our good old trusty Clorox. That's got to stay that way. We need to sanitize everything, including the bottles that you've been collecting. Now, with these bottles, hopefully you've rinsed them out just as you finished using them. I like to take the labels off. I think it just looks cleaner and more professional. And you need to clean them. You need to clean them well. A bottling brush will come with your kit. And you want to get this brush in here and you want to spend some time cleaning that well. A little dishwashing liquid works wonders. You need to rinse your bottle out very well. You don't want any of that soap left. And once you have it rinsed, we've got to sanitize it. So, we've got our bucket full of water and Clorox, which is sanitizing it. All we've got to do is allow the bottles to fill up. What I end up doing when I was bottling, which I'm going to guarantee you won't take you long to not want a bottle, is I just kept putting as many bottles as I could fit comfortably in this bucket and let them sit for about 10 minutes. After that point, we grab our bottle, we empty it out. Remember, we never ever rinse after we've sanitized it with Clorox. I basically just set my bottles onto a towel upside down, and I just continue doing that until I have all 54 sanitized. Now it's time to transfer our fermented beer from the fermenter into our bottling bucket. And I'm going to harp here about sanitation again. I cannot say enough. Everything that touches the beer has got to be sanitized. For these plastic components, this hose, and the other things that are going to be involved today, including our bottles, I can use Clorox. And in a 6.5 gallon bucket, about 1/4 cup is what works really well. Remember, never ever rinse anything after you've added the Clorox. All you'll be doing is reintroducing microorganisms. You can turn them upside down and let them drain like our bottles, and you don't have to worry that you think you're going to have a Clorox taste. It won't happen. So, we get this hose into our bottling bucket. I have the lid on. It's not tight. I just have it on so that it keeps anything possibly from falling in. Turn on our valve, and we have to remove our fermentation lock. Now it's just going to fill up our bottling bucket. We're now going to add our bottling sugar, which creates a carbonation as the bottles sit. You see, there's just a little bit of yeast left in every bottle, and it will love to have some more sugars to convert. So we simply pour that in and give it a good mix. Now remember, this spoon was sanitized before it ever touched that beer. Slip the lid on. Don't have to be tight. I have to admit, I'm a little lazy, so I love letting gravity work for me. And I don't want to have to bend over to the floor or anything else. So I have put my bucket now of beer on top of the old fermenter so that it gives me gravity feed. We've added our filler, and now all we have to do is start filling bottles. And this is so simple. You insert filler, you notice nothing's coming out. Insert filler, push down, and it is now filling the bottle. We want to fill to about this level. So, the bottle's coming up. I can watch the beer bean coming in. We're getting closer. We're done. And I'm ready for my next bottle. It's as simple as that. Oh my goodness, it smells like beer. But it's time to cap it. And it's so simple. Place your cap on the bottle and take your capper. That's all there is to it. That bottle is now capped and ready to be stored. You have now brewed your first batch and it's bottled. Now I'm going to tell you one of the biggest problems you're going to run into. And believe me, any home brewer will tell you the exact same thing. You've got to wait about a week before you can crack this open and try it. I mean, a week. So have some patience. But when you do crack it open, oh, you are going to be so thrilled because it's going to be some of the finest beer you've ever had. So I hope you enjoyed the whole idea of your first home brew. You give it a try. I want to hear about it because I love to brew and I love to hear about how other people brew. So, till next time, I gotta find some beer.